And here we are back with Heavenly Sword, so this is going to be kind of a mini puzzle room, I guess, and I only call it a mini puzzle room because it's not really much of a puzzle. We need to get to the other side to open up the lever, or to push the lever open to open up the gates, but to do that first we need to climb up this ladder and push that lever that I just pushed and then open up the gates as it's doing right now. And then there's going to be glowing buttons on the wall. There's one right next to me here. We're going to hit that one with our swords to open up the gate and then walk into this prison room and pick up the shield and then throw it across the way here to hit this button. And then you should be able to walk on through the gate that opens with the weird kind of screen-in-screen or picture-in-picture mode they have going on here. And then we'll want to pick up another shield, I think, because I think we'll have to hit another button. Yes, right there. So once we hit that open, we'll be able to pull that lever and then get to the actual fighting in the game, which is, you know, the point of fighting games. And coming up, not in this video, but in the next one, we're going to be running into our first real boss fight. So as I mentioned before, we have to fight Whiptail, and then I think the Flying Fox is his name. That's the third boss. Roach is the second boss. And then, of course, finally King Bohan. And it's going to be a lot of fun getting there, but it is still going to take a while. The beginning of this game seems to be quite a bit longer than the rest of the game, and especially during this era of gaming, you could notice a lot of the time that developers really seem to spend most of their effort at the beginning of the game, because that's kind of when it was the most fun, it was most exciting, you know, the level design was better, and then near the end of the game you could almost tell that they were getting tired of making it, so they're just like, let's get it done, and it shows, especially in something like Diablo 3.
Thank you, Noriko.
Quickly, follow me.
Where are you taking us?
You have to find my father.
At what cost? He's probably dead already. We should just get out of here. How could Shen be so foolish as to trust you with the sword? You of all people!
There was a time when I cared what the clan thought about me. But that time is past.
Then I shall pray for the world, Noriko!
Because in Diablo 3, they had a similar, well, at least I felt like it had a similar experience where the beginning of the game was done pretty well. But near the end of the game, it really started to show they felt like they were kind of tired of making it. And then we get Act 4, which was, I don't know, an hour long or some ridiculously short amount of time compared to what people thought it should have been. I could complain for hours about Diablo 3, but we're not playing that game. We are playing Heavenly Sword, and now we get to pick up this rocket launcher. Now this is one of the weirdest things in this game because it's really hard to aim. It's just really hard to aim this thing, and if you wait till those guys get closer, it's a little bit better, but I'm trying to aim it and, you know, kind of toward them, but it's just going off diagonally, or it's not really going where I want it to. That one kind of hit that group, and this is probably the way you're supposed to get all the three orbs at the bottom of the screen. And if you wait for those guys to get closer, though, you can be a little bit more efficient at using this than I was. And then there, it looks like it hit the guy, but it just goes through him, and then they get right up next to you, and there's not really a whole lot you can do, because as soon as they hit you, you're gonna drop the rocket, and that's about it. So that rocket launcher is limited with its bullets, but you know, if you use it a little bit better, you might not have to deal with as many of these guys as I did, just waiting for them to get a little bit closer and firing straight ahead. But either way, when it comes down to it, if you take out a few of them, then they will just run into you and you can defeat them normally. And we have two of those little beads in the top left corner on that wheel that we can use to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, there we go, use one of them. And that will obviously take out one guy and sometimes do collateral damage to a few other people just to make the effort a little bit less on your part. Although for the most part, these are the pretty weakling guys. It's not really like there's a whole lot going on here that we have to worry about. And we just have to power attack them or normal attack them until all of them die. And we should be done with the amount of waves that are getting thrown at us. So something interesting that happens at the end of this video is that there's going to be a big gate that we have to go through, and I'm going to leave in the part where I wander around because there's nothing you need to do to open the gate. I don't know if it was a loading screen type of thing like in Metroid where they hide the load screens behind the doors opening. I don't know if it was that kind of thing, but the gate just wasn't opening for me for a couple of seconds, and then it just spontaneously opened, so we were able to continue. But that's not the gate that we're staring at right now. That gate is going to close, and then we're going to have to climb up on either side in a second here to get it open. I think. Yep, it is in fact closing. Okay, so I I'm remembering this video or this level like I hope it goes. And then once we get a little bit closer, the objective comes up, open the temple gates, and we're going to see these glowing orbs on the left and the right side. So just pick one, go on up, and then follow the quick time events to run up the wall. Try not to hit those incorrectly, or you'll have to do this again, but not a big deal. And once we get up here, we'll have some more enemies to fight. So these are going to be a little bit tougher. They have some swords. Of course, the other guys had swords too, but these ones have shields. And as I've said before, if you need to memorize any combos, the ones worth memorizing are the shield breakers, and I'm not really using any of them except for the power attacks. Those seem to be pretty okay at damaging or at breaking the shields. And these guys are still a little bit annoying because they like to do fast attacks and mix them with the power attacks, and to counter the power attacks you have to hold R1 and then push triangle when you hear the little ding, and to try to counter the blue attacks you just hold, you just push triangle when you hear the ding without holding anything. But it's kind of hard to predict what they're going to be using, and it's usually easier just to roll out of the way and try to catch them off guard, knock them onto the ground, roll over to them, and then finish them off just by tapping square when you're near them. And once we're here, we'll be able to walk into, or once they're dead, we'll be able to walk into here and push the gong, but we can't actually hit it yet. We'll want to open up the lever too. And I still don't think we can hit the lever or that gong from just regularly. We might just have to throw the shield at it, which is a little bit odd. But hey, I guess that works. And once that shield's open up, we'll also be able to pick up a shield and throw it to the other side here and hit that gong. That'll open up that gate for us, and will also reduce the or lessen the amount of work we have to do. So if you want to hit the gong behind us, that's just in case you're on the other side and want to open up that gate. So you can throw these shields at those enemies if you want to. It doesn't really do anything. I was seeing maybe if it might kill one of them, then it'd be less work for us, but it just kind of stuns them. So there's really no reason to do that. So we're just going to head on back through and hit that orb, come on back down here, follow the quick time again, try not to fall off, and then do the exact same thing on the other side. And once that is done, we will go through this gate and then walk into an area where I wander around for a couple of seconds because it hadn't loaded, I guess, and then that gate will open up without us having to do anything. And then we get to fight Whiptail, which is the first boss of Heavenly Sword.